Number one, when you live in Korea, you live in the future. And and the way the checklists are set up, they end on Friday in the US. They end on Friday in the US, which is after the closing bell. Unfortunately, if I don't change the checklist date, this is very important. Look where you live. I was losing out for about 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. I only figured it out at the beginning of this week.
All right, welcome, folks. This is Brandon and Dennis, the Weekend Trader Project. I am the rusty trader. My brother Dennis here is the rookie trader out in Korea, South Korea. We're doing this new thing. It's a 12-week process where we are trying to learn how to trade. I used to trade before, and then I got out of the practice, out of the habit, and I'm trying to relearn those skills. And what we're doing is we're using a program that's a 12-week process that's supposed to show you how to do it. We talked in our last video about how we worked with this guy before. He's got this program that's supposed to train you in the process. We thought, hey, why don't we jump on and kind of keep it a secret from him until we can say we've done it or we haven't done it. You're welcome to follow along and join us as we try to set up trading on the weekends.
Yes. And that's the whole point. Weekends. So like Brandon said, he's the rusty guy. I'm the rookie. I don't know anything. But we're both busy dads. We also happen to be brothers. He's my brother. I'm his brother. And we'll let you guess who's older. So we started this project to try to find out, hey, can we, as busy dads, as busy entrepreneurs, take care of learning how to trade and then actually make some money from it?
Hopefully. We are technically on week 2. However, we had a gap. We started week 1, super excited, and then we're busy dads. So life got in the way. We started week 2 and the recording failed because we are an ocean apart. We are finally getting back around to it a couple of weeks later. That means we are not always necessarily in the same place where our trading's at. And we didn't necessarily complete the weekly homework. We're jumping back in the saddle at week 2, even though it's beyond week 2. Our normal thing is going to be, first off, what did you learn this week?
Well, what did I learn? Number one, I learned that this system is very hands-off. Aside from the time that I spend taking the orders, taking the checklist, and plugging it into the trading system. I'm using Thinkorswim, and I just plug it in, and that's pretty much it. And I just watch it. I check it like every other day. It's great because I do it on the weekend. So what did I learn? I learned that it's easy to do. I also learned that consistency matters. I did miss 1 week, and I missed out on some trades. Other than that, I did my first practice. I started the practice runs back at the very end of September. So that gives you an idea of how far behind we are. But I've done pretty good.
I think you started your practice trades to put the orders in without necessarily doing the homework side of this whole process.
That's exactly right.
2 or 3 weeks before we really started saying, hey, we're going to actually do this project. And then we did the first week recording, the first video. We tried to do the second week almost right away, but then it's been almost, a month, 3 or 4 weeks since then.
Been a week since we did the last video.
Yeah, so that means
because we've been launching, so we were launching something else.
Yeah, I get it. That's it. We got busy. But we're going to be back in the saddle again here. And of course, we're going to be busy through the holidays. But I'm curious because that means you started before I did on putting the orders in. I put the orders in that first week and I got 1 trade out of it. Then got a little busy and didn't put the orders in again until this week. And there were lots of triggers where lots of orders got in. A lot of them got stopped out because of the current market setup. We can talk about that a little bit. What's fascinating is having known this guy for a while, having seen the system, and having in the past been a trader, if I had this as my first week results, I would have been like, this is awful. I'm not going to do this ever again. Between those 2 weeks, I had 10 total trades fill and get triggered into on a paper trading process. 3 of them were winners.
Wow, I had a lot more than that. But this last week, I had a lot of tanks. Here's another thing that I learned.
You're different. Let me finish with my results, and then we'll compare because you have been doing it more consistently. And this just shows you the concept of consistency. I had 3 out of 10 winners. It's a $100,000 paper account that we're working with both, starting with, and I'm down $400. So I lost 7 out of 10, and I'm only down I'm down 0.5%.
That's not too bad.
That's where stop losses are important.
Yeah.
So losing a tiny bit and saying, hey, I'm okay with that versus, wow, if I had jumped in this week, I would have had probably 2 winners and 4 or 5 losers, and I probably would have been down more. And it would have been hard to see that. What is your overall result been? Where are you at, having done this since end of September?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to clarify. I got started in the middle of the week at the end of September. I started on a Wednesday of all days, so it's already almost end of the market. I learned something, and then I think the first and second week of October I might have been a little bit late getting in. So I'm going to count the last 2 weeks of October until the first here. This being the first week of November. So the last 3 weeks or so, I've learned a lot. Number one, when you live in Korea, you live in the future. And the way the checklists are set up, they end on Friday in the U.S. They end on Friday in the U.S., which is after the closing bell. Unfortunately, if I don't change the checklist date, this is very important. Look where you live. I was losing out for about 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. I only figured it out at the beginning of this week. There were some trades I missed because they closed on Thursday night instead of Friday because they were
Did they cancel?
They just canceled the orders.
The orders canceled on
Friday. They're supposed to cancel on Friday
right.
after the market closed, but I was out before the market even opened on Friday. So there was a couple of times I lost out. So
and that gets you having put in the orders for multiple weeks instead of just
overall,
like
for being consistent. Yeah, let me see if I can share my chart and make sure, or share my positions, right? Let me see. Where's that share button again? I lost it.
I think in the future, may just want to have a simple, like, what's my overall win percent?
Yeah, in the future, this is one of the things I need to get better about. I need to make some better stuff where I can just plug that in. So you see, these are all the trades, the different trades that I've made, just the stock symbols. So yeah, as you can see, I got into a lot of positions at the beginning of this week. There were a lot of trades and they filled very quickly. And as you can see, they dropped off pretty quick. There was Dell, there was a Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab was interesting. I made a profit on that.
Not a loss.
It dropped out this week. Thank God for the trailing stop. But overall, yeah, look, since the end of September, with about 4 weeks of trading in, I've done pretty well with 7,000 in profit on gains. Now, something I do want to say, you mentioned that we're both trading with a $100,000 account.
Paper account,
$100,000 paper account. But I am running my position sizes off of 50. So I actually probably could have made more if I had been a little less conservative.
I think in most of the orders I've seen recently from the checklist, the suggestion was a 50% position. It was a half a position.
No, but I've
based on the risk and reward amount.
Right. But when I set up my spreadsheet, I don't put $100,000 in as my capital.
Interesting.
That's something that I started on day one.
So you've been engaging 50% of your capital, and that means that your return is actually double.
It could have probably been double. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's another lesson learned.
Oh yeah, the risk reward ratios and everything, and how you engage your capital comes into play. But you have had 5 weeks, 6 weeks of putting in these orders and letting them play out, even though you don't. Okay, 4 weeks, but even though you don't fully understand what's happening and why these trades are being put on,
understand any of it.
Like the exercise of just putting the orders in and getting the system working for you is giving you confidence in the system. And here I am. I know the system should work, and yet I'm not taking the 30 minutes even to just put the copy and paste orders in. I've lost a little bit, but at the same time, the positions I have that are still on and up are up very, very well.
Well, 30 minutes. It takes me minutes. It takes a little time to read. If you want to dive into it and read, it literally takes 5 minutes. I just check. Should this be a half position, a quarter position, a whole position? Take your pick. I go, okay. And I just click on the things and plug it in. 5-10 minutes. That's all it takes every Monday.
Not the way the system is supposed to be working.
That's what I've been doing. Want to share your chart? While I'll
P&L chart,
if you want to share, whatever chart you want to share, whatever screen you want to share.
So we've got some good lessons on consistency and trust in the system, which is an important part of trading. If you don't trust that your system will work with enough trades in play, you're going to struggle to be consistent in your actions. I think that's the key we're talking about here. Consistent actions are a big deal when your system's working. Those are good lessons. Probably very different lessons than we talked about on the failed recording.
That's true.
I would say one of the other things that I did talk about last time, and I don't have it, was I did do some back testing in that week. And the back testing is where this stuff gets really fun. It's like a video game where you're just, oh, I see it and I get in and I put the order in and then it goes or it doesn't go. And you just kind of play back and forth with it. So I ended up on a back testing simplifying part of the system down to bare bones and ending up with a 50-50 win ratio, meaning half losses, half wins on 18 trades. But with half losses and half wins, I was still up almost 5% in about a year of testing.
But let's clarify that. You're not like, when you say 50-50 win-loss. Okay, so, but when you win bigger than you lose, right?
That is exactly right. That's the
way the
risk
system is
management
made
side.
up, right?
Yeah. So
it's like
half the trades were winners, half the trades were losers, but it was losses. I don't know which side I'm going to end up on here, but losses were here and wins were up here. So we can talk more about numbers another time, but that lesson of the disciplined approach, even on a very simplified system, is what gave me confidence to do that. Plus, you end up having fun just doing this little back and forth. And you're going to get there. You're going to get there, bro.
I'm looking forward to the homework this week because starting tomorrow, I'm going to dig deeper into week 2, the week 2 homework, and doing some of those back trades and back testing, because when you call it a video game, it's kind of, okay, well, this could be kind of fun. I used to play video games, Atari, Pac-Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's not unlike that.
Super
but
Mario
it ends
Brothers.
up being, it's visual, and it's, there's that, because you're doing it on a quick time frame with this historic data, you get that instant gratification of, oh, it's working or it's not working.
I love instant gratification.
And so that's where you get the instant gratification, but you're not risking anything in day trading.
Right.
And that's the difference. So normally we're going to talk about high trades and low trades. I do have a chart to share if you.
Yeah, go ahead. Share your chart. Okay. I'll move the you share the screen and I'll change the view. Oh,
sure.
Not there yet. Well, let us get back to the group scene, and when you're sharing, I'll be ready.
All right, here's my chart.
Okay. Woohoo! Let me adjust.
Jump in here.
We made some adjustments there.
Okay.
So, all right, let me adjust that. Oops. Oh, what do we got here?
So this is Gush, which is the
so gushy.
And
yeah, I got into Gush too. Yeah, I got into Gush too.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. One of the leveraged ETFs on the indexes is TNA.
I know, isn't it hilarious?
Come on, people. All right. This one, however, is oil and gas exploration. So Gush, because you hit that well, and it's just like in the movies, it comes spurting out, right?
It's a gusher. I know. I used to work on those oil rigs, man. Remember that? I used to work on oil rigs. Now, what am I looking at here, man?
You're looking at the chart.
Gush. And just so this was what, yesterday, day before?
This was one of the trades this week that was in the checklist, right?
Yep.
And so this was the one where I saw this chart. If I can go back, if I can drag this, there's Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. And so this is
Monday.
So last Friday it would have been here. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Friday, October 31st, Halloween.
So that was here. We know we have support down here. And so Monday morning.
Where's your cursor? I can't see your cursor.
No, you can't see my cursor.
Okay.
Let me see if
I just saw it. Okay.
Can I draw lines on here? This is one of those areas where I'm working with TradingView here just to get a different system, a different concept.
No, but I can see kind of where you're at. Okay, so
we got some support down there on that line, and I'm like, oh, this is quite nice. It's just been going up and down and up. If you zoom out,
okay, now that makes it easier.
Up and down, right? It's been doing that. So the support has been very strong, and I like that. And then Monday morning, I believe that was Monday morning, I saw it here, and I was looking at the orders. I was looking at the and what's your social security number? So I was looking here, and the order was in to get in around here, and so I'm like, this is great. It was actually low when I was looking at it Monday morning, because I didn't put my orders in on Sunday like a good boy. I did it Monday morning as the market was opening.
I did it Monday morning too, but I was in the future.
So
it was still Sunday. It was still Sunday.
From the future. So anyway, I'm liking this, and what we got on Tuesday was this beautiful hammer. And so I saw, and I said,
all I see is
this right here.
Oh, that's the hammer. Okay.
Yeah, the very last one. Hammer right down to support. Beautiful example.
Wow, it went way all the way down there. It just wow.
It had all the hallmarks of I'm like, I like this trade, and so I actually did a real money trade on this one. Little bit.
Good for you.
Little small real money trade.
Okay.
And so
we don't have to share the real numbers.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I know, but a little one, because I saw it and I knew it. I knew this was comfortable and familiar. I knew I could trust this. And if it dropped down here, it would have been a very small loss. And so now we're up, I want to say it's about 7 or 8% from here. And so, yeah, that was my trade for the week. That was really pleasing.
Right,
yeah. And so I'm happy with it. I deployed some capital, did some right stuff. And so making a little bit of money in the retirement accounts.
Yeah, it's up about 7% right now.
Yeah,
because I'm in the same trade. Got in the same exact time. I don't know when you got in, but I got in.
So
it's up 7%.
I probably similar time. So I actually got in on Monday towards the low, right?
Yeah,
and I was very happy when it settled out on Tuesday with that hammer, because that was
so
good.
Okay, and I know I've asked this before, but my old brain doesn't work the way it used to. So that's a hammer. I know because it looks like a hammer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And there's all these other things. They call them dojis and tops and things like that. But let's go into the basics.
Okay.
All these candlesticks, and they obviously look like candlesticks. They have the wick, the little line, and then they've got the thick body.
Mm-hmm.
What defines the body shape? What defines the color? I mean, I don't understand this stuff. I know green is up and red is down, but how do you figure out what it all means? I don't know.
Yeah, that's my son actually used to say that when I was like, he was 3 years old, and he would say green is up and red is down, or no, yeah. All right, I'm going to try and zoom in here on one of these bigger ones. Mm-hmm. Let's just see if we can do that. There we go. And play with all this.
Bigger one right there on the first day. Or on,
I know.
Today.
Play with all this.
Really zoomed in.
All right. Yeah, we're really zoomed in so you can really see it. All right. Okay. So the bottom of the body is the open.
Bottom of the body. That's the
open of the day. Yes. So can I? This says I want to draw. Now, there it is. I can draw. So the bottom of the body is the open of the day. Mm-hmm. And if you look over here, this O. Is open. Exactly. It doesn't let me draw up there. There you go. The O is open.
Yeah.
So if you watch the O, when I go to a different day, it's going to change.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Right. I'm sorry. So, did I say I totally messed that up. The bottom of the body is not the open. My mistake. It flips on an up day and a down day. So on this instance, this big red candle, the open is up here. Right? The close is down here. My mistake. I don't know. That's like super basic. I feel like I failed kindergarten.
Okay, so all right. So you say it's opposite on a green candle?
So on a green candle, it would be open here, close up here. Because what you're seeing is the difference between the two is where it opened, where it closed. It's green because it was higher. It's red because it was lower. The close is lower than the open.
So it's green because the open was on the bottom and closed on the top.
Yeah.
It's red because it open was on the top and it closed on the bottom. And then what about that line, the wick?
The line here? Okay, so the line through the center line, this is, this stays the same where it is. Why is it making fun pictures like here?
Flower.
I have no idea how that happened. All right, so here, that top point is the high of the day, and the bottom point is the low of the day. Okay. And that's true regardless. Low of the day, high of the day. And on these guys...
The color depends on if it opened higher or lower, or if the opening was higher than the close, it's going to be red. If the opening was lower than the close, it's going to be green, right?
Yes. So if it opens low,
I probably could have better.
Yeah. If it opens low and closes high, it's green. If it opens high and closes low, it's red. And if it opens and closes roughly in the same spot, you get one of these guys.
What do you call that? What kind of symbol do they call that?
So, I mean, the name of the candle often is related to the trend. Okay. And so in this case, it's kind of nothing. It's a doji, but it's kind of nothing.
So that's a doji.
Yeah.
I've heard the word, but I've heard the word, but I don't know what it is.
And what it means.
The big one I hear all the time is hammer, doji, and sometimes I've heard something called a hanging man.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound very good. Sounds pretty bad.
So, I mean, what you're looking at is this is buyers and sellers. The buyers were in charge on this day. The sellers were in charge on this day.
Right.
And if you can just think about it in that perspective of like, that means the sellers were in charge, unless there's something down below this that's going to catch and make the buyers jump in, then we should expect it continue. We should expect it to keep going down.
Right.
And that's where you see support and resistance come in. So see, he kept jumping down.
Look at that big gap on the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is after hours trading,
Yes. So there
which
are
means
some
they
folks.
trade. How the heck do they get permission to trade when the market is closed? I mean,
How do they get permission? Right. You see, would think the market is closed. How can you keep trading? And yet
yeah,
there
how do they do
are
that?
after hours markets that are letting people, and it's not necessarily retail traders. You
Obviously.
can do it. But there are people who are trading in between. So you will sometimes get a gap like this. And so it
Sneaky
closed
mother.
way up here. It gapped down to here and it kept on going.
But it finally, eventually reaches a support. You're going to zoom out and you can say eventually it reaches some
Eventually
kind
it
of
reaches the support.
support
Yes.
level, and then the buyers jump in and say, "Not on
Right.
my watch. We're taking this one back." Right.
Right. But if you look at it that support
Ooh, it
level,
dropped below the blue line for a
the
while.
support level
Where's the
could
support?
have been, the support level could have been down in this area, but it actually gaps down and kept going beyond that. There's kind of a support that was trending a little bit.
Yeah,
So you can kind of see that's fun. A little moving trend line, gap down, tried to touch it, and went back down. And it came back to the one we just looked
Not
at,
gonna happen.
which is where
So,
around where we got in.
wow, that's wild. See, I learned a lot today, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Any other questions about you? About Sarah, right? So anyway, that was my
charts, man.
that was my best trade.
Mhm.
We're going long today, I think.
That's all right.
Worst trade,
We can cut
worst
that in
trade,
post.
and I need to figure out.
Worst trade. RKL. Oh man,
Worst
this one
trade
was
was
such
RKLB.
disappointed.
So
So
Friday,
disappointed.
Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, and what we were looking for was we have some support, but we also have some support there, and we have some support way down here, right?
Mhm.
Which coincides with a moving average. So we were looking at that trade, and it got filled on this
Right
on
at
this
the moving
jump
average,
down,
and we
got
were
filled,
expecting it to go back up.
and we were expecting it's been in an uptrend,
Mhm.
right? Been in an
Yeah.
uptrend. If we keep going back here, I need to figure out how to reset my chart on this sucker. It's been in this nice uptrend from bottom to top, and so
I
we
got
were
a piece of that
expecting.
too. I'm happy about that. I got a piece.
Oh my gosh, this actually is becoming interesting. So you got in way back in this last
somewhere
bounce,
back
probably,
over there. Yeah, it would have been
right?
October,
Back in this.
early October.
So I was not in that
Mid-October.
trade, and now I'm in this. I got into this trade. So the reason we were expecting is look at this convergence here of moving average plus horizontal support plus trending support. That's a strong support area.
That is. That's weird,
right?
That's weird.
It should have, but hey, the market's
climbing
all
back
together.
Now, what Rocket Lab is? What do they do?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
They make rockets. I'm assuming they study
I think
rockets.
they have
I don't
something
know.
to do. I think they have
Something
something
to do with rockets.
with AI and tech. I did.
There's a good chance for that too.
Because Rocket Lab. I just like the name.
I don't know how I'm supposed to remove stuff. Oh, there you go. It removes it like that. I see. Anyway, cool. That's my top highs and lows. So what's yours?
Dude, that's awesome. What's my top highs and lows? Well,
Or sorry, your high
have-
trade, low trade.
my high trade, low trade.
I will stop sharing.
Hold on. Let me move us back to the group scene and let me see. I don't track as well as you do, but and I certainly don't know the charts like you do. So I also got in on Gush. What a great name. I mean, seriously, what a great name. But over the last week, I got in on Nugget. And
Nugget was my best.
That's a fun name too.
Paper trade.
Yeah, paper. It's all paper for me. It's all
right. But the fact that I did, I only pointed out Gush because I
So-
actually put in real money trade on that.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I was playing with real money. So yeah, as you can see, I got in here probably about the same time you did, and I got to learn how to manipulate this chart better. But what the heck happened here? I don't know what I'm doing. Whoa, not that. I don't want to do that. So see how new I am at this? I don't even know how to manipulate. Whoa, not that. I don't want that. What the heck is going on here? Jeez. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to see where my trades are at.
I was using TradingView.
Yes, I'm using
and
TLS.
You're now in Thinkorswim.
Thinkorswim.
You can use multiple options here. I tend to use the Thinkorswim, which is why I'm not familiar on TradingView.
Right, and I am not familiar on any view, but I am happy with where we're going with Nugget. It's Nugget and Gush are the only true trades that I still have open. Everything else took a dump.
Me too.
This week.
Me too.
And I know it happened for everybody, and it all happened kind of like midweek. What happened? What happened in the news? I mean, I remember hearing something about OpenAI did something weird, but
Oh, you mean what happened with the news?
yeah. Wait, OpenAI did something weird, and then all of the tech stocks went
Yeah,
went
I
went a
think
little crazy.
I think that there's yeah. Well, honestly, I don't like to track the news because it's such a short term reaction you get, and
Yeah, I'm not
the
saying because
news
I'm
is
tracking the news. I'm just
right. I
saying
know, no,
because
no, but I'm saying from an understand like trying to understand why did the market do X, Y, or Z.
Mm,
You're going to get 10 different answers depending on if you ask 8 people, you get 10 different answers,
right.
and so that's why I'm like tracking that is less valuable than just looking at the charts and
Mhm.
saying what's the chart showing me, because the people who know more than I do are the ones moving those charts.
No, yeah, that's true.
So what you
And
see
look at that.
showing up in the
Wow, look at
charts
that.
bakes that into the system.
I picked up 10% on Nugget, and I think I took my 10% off the top. So I've still got a position on, but it's not as big as the original position
That's
because I
hold on.
took my 10% profit.
You did hit profit target 1. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Yahoo! Isn't
Pause.
that exciting?
Okay. There we go.
Okay, so that's my big
So that
winner.
was your that was your big
My
winner.
biggest, I don't know, biggest loser. Let me double check my biggest loser here. From this week. The one we were talking about earlier.
This is what
That ETF we were talking about earlier. I did get a good bump on uh, TQQQ or T triple Q, but what I is it not sharing the screen? Oh, there it is. Right here. TNA. Whoa,
mm.
so sneaky. TNA. Let's take a look at the chart. TNA. What a great name. I just love the names of these charts. T.
Oh, I remember way back in the day we used to trade pot.
You're kidding. Pot? But yeah,
And it
look at
was
that.
it was short for
It fell off.
potash, but yeah, it was
Potash is an
yeah,
important commodity.
it is
Yeah.
an important commodity, but it's also a company name. Just the
So
ticker was pot.
so TNA is a ETF that tracks the. I know this. Hold on. Let me check my notes. No, I don't know this. What's TNA?
The Russell 2000. Yeah, it tracks the Russell
Yes, it
2000,
tracks
which is
the Russell 2000.
2000.
Hmm.
It's a very broad base for the entire market.
Hmm. Right, and this is an ETF, so it's
It's a leveraged ETF.
oh, excuse me,
Yeah,
leveraged ETF, which means do you know how many times leverage it is? Because I don't.
3 times. Three
Three
times. So that what
times.
they're trying to do is normally like if you get an ETF that's like tracking the S&P like the spiders,
Hmm.
right? And it's just trying to keep the same percentage movement per day
Hmm.
using futures and options and all this kind of stuff. The leveraged ETFs try and do a multiple of that per day based on the same kind of thing. They're using options, they're using futures, and so they're trying to get if the Russell and its normal ETF go up 1%, they're trying to get 3%.
Yeah.
So that's why it's
So
leveraged. It gives you a little bit of extra juice without having to use options. It's a pretty cool tool, but it's also it's a double-edged sword.
right. So I don't know how to do drawings on here, so I'm not even going to try. Anyway, so as you can see, all right. I don't know what the plan was here, but we got in on TNA. I don't even remember what day it filled in, but look at that. It didn't do what the expectation was. So what do you think happened here? Looking at this chart, what do you think was the reason
Let me
why
see if I can
it didn't
find
go?
the. It filled on the 4th,
So it filled on Tuesday, the
so
fourth.
a lot of things filled
That's
on
right there.
Tuesday.
Okay, so it fell
Yeah.
below the look the 50-day moving average
Well, yeah, it fell right to an area of
of
support,
support, right?
right,
I don't know
and
which area.
slightly
There's a
below the
low.
slightly, I mean,
There's a low.
slightly below the 50-day moving average, but in
Right.
an area of support, a
Right.
zone of support,
And then the very next
and
day it was looking pretty good. It was like,
and it,
woohoo, we're going up.
yep, it
And
did
then
bounce, and then it dropped back down, and that's where like I said, this is a broad market perspective,
mhm,
or it's 2,000 different stocks you're looking at, so it is overall. And what you'll see is if the market is going a certain direction, something like 80% of the stocks are going to follow.
so where do you think the next level of support is on this stock chart?
Well,
I
as
mean,
as
is
the
it this
boss
purple
as the
line?
boss says, look to the left.
Right. So all right, let's look to the left, and I'm gonna make a little line. I know how to make a line. I do know that. All right. So
Good.
looking to the left. No, that's way up high. So let's look
So
down here. That's that's a low. That's a low.
Yep.
But that's also a low. That's a low low. That sounds just low low.
It's crazy.
It's crazy low. How far back to the left should we go?
So when you're looking back to the left, you're not just looking for lows, you're looking for highs.
Okay.
Because support and resistance will flip. It's like the surface of a lake. Or think of a frozen lake.
Okay.
If you break through the frozen lake, you're going to come bob back up and hit your head. You're probably not going to end up in the same hole.
Right. Yeah. That makes
Right.
sense.
So then that what was your ground becomes your ceiling if you break down through it. Right. And the opposite is true. If you're in the bottom of the lake and you can bust through the ice and get out, now that's your floor. So support and resistance will continue, like it. It's your ceiling or your floor. You're on the
right
third
now
floor.
we're
You're
looking
on
for the floor.
Right. So now we're looking for the floor, which means looking for old bottoms is one area where we might find support. But looking for old tops is also where we might find support.
That's about as clear as mud, dude.
Okay,
seriously,
it's not clear as mud. It's the old ceilings. Once you're above them, can become floors.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Right.
But
right.
But where?
So based on that, if you're looking left,
mm-hmm.
there is a potential spot around $40 on this one. There you go. Go up a little bit. See how
that's a low.
Right. So if,
that's a high.
Well,
around 41.
Yeah. We'll go down to the bottom of that candle. Right now. Not stop. Watch. You look at the crosshairs and where that line goes off to the left.
Okay.
It's a former high.
39.84.
It's a former, but it's right there next to a former high.
Off to the left. It's off there next to the former high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a stronger one would be that next former high, which is around 38, 38.25. Yeah.
That former high?
Look back to, right, but keep looking left.
Oh, over here. That's a high.
There's a whole congestion area that stopped around 38.
It kind of look at all that. It's all pretty similar.
Yeah.
For
and then
days.
And then
maybe
as long
down here at 38.
Yeah. And then the next one, which is
pretty darn close to that purple line.
Which is pretty darn close to a long-term moving average, which is also what is
that moving average?
That would be
200 day.
200 day. Yes.
Oh.
So you've got multiple potential areas where it could find support. The more times something hits a support level or a resistance level, the stronger it becomes.
Okay. That makes sense.
So those are all. We didn't mean to get into charts too much here today, but there we are.
We're looking at 36, 50. That's the moving average, the 200 day. Yeah. Or you said what was the other one? The bottom of that other high was 38.58.
Yeah. Let me do a quick here.
All right. Let me
share on my end.
Screen. You do a quick share on your screen.
I'll see if I can
do chart controls.
All right, here we go.
I'm
going to do a quick share
later on.
Yeah, but we need to be outside of this, man. This is getting long.
It's all right. It's all right. We're having fun. We're having a good time.
Sure. All right. So I'm going to do this here. So we've got this like this,
right?
Still
looking at TNA.
This is the same chart area you were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's our previous support and resistance. There's our previous support and resistance. I'm going to move this guy up to about there. Mm. And what I want you to notice is there's also an area where it's bounced off. Here.
Oh.
All right, it's bounced off. This one, in this area. And so what this becomes is there's all of this bounce back and forth in that zone. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit wide, but somewhere in this kind of zone, and that's why if you're thinking about it as a precise number, it becomes a little bit more challenging. If you're thinking about it as an area where we can look for support, then when it gets there, you'll see the stuff and go, oh, okay, support is nearby, and it may carve out and show you exactly where it wants to be once it's there.
Makes sense.
It could be at the top. It could be towards the bottom, but we'll see it. We'll see it as it plays out.
Yeah. Now, and I know it's a little crazy, but the momentum, the momentum down here at the bottom, it looks like it's bottoming out a little bit based on where it's going. So do you think that's a sign, that's an indicator that it might turn around before it gets down this low? Or do you think it'll have to wait until we could get to that support?
This last candle here, I mean, if you just look here, this is a minor support level, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because you had a bottom of a big candle, You had a top, a little congestion. So we're seeing it. The buyers wanted to keep it.
They wanted
here,
to come back and keep it going.
right?
And
But however, you will often see, I broke the 50-day moving average. You'll often see it come down, come back up and kiss it, and then on down. Oftentimes, again, these are things that you can't promise.
right,
But
it's just
it
but
happens
that's why we
over
have
and
stop
over
losses.
again with some level of statistical reliability, and so you can see the pattern and go, okay, I've seen this before. It may not be what I want to happen, but it's very likely in many cases. So, and the guy we work with,
that's why we have stop losses, right? That's the
yeah,
whole
and
point.
the guy we work with is going to be much, he's definitely better about this, but that basic understanding of there's zones where it's potential for bounce, and when you see the bounce and then you see that turning up, that's where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I have my picture of likelihood rather than certainty.
So no, I think dude. This is a great lesson for me. I know we got to wrap it up, but that little introduction there, and look, the only reason I chose TNA was not because primarily because I like the name, but it was the one that I lost the most money on,
Okay.
and that's the only reason I chose it. I think I lost $250 on that one, which is a lot for a 2-day trade. Basically, it was like a 2 or 3-day trade. But hey, $250. But everything else, all of my other losses were under $200. So
Interesting.
um,
And that's
yeah.
interesting because Rocket Labs was one of the biggest on mine, but I think you said you took a larger or smaller position.
No, I got into Rocket
Or
Labs
you were in
earlier.
previously. That's right. Okay.
I got into the first buy, and
Right.
then I got a little bit more on the second. So I actually lost a little bit on the position, but I'm still up 675 on that. So I wish I had taken. So what I'm going to do in the future, now that we've talked about it again, I'm
Mhm.
going to raise my imaginary money up from 50 to 100,
Mhm.
so that I'm taking larger positions and see what that looks like when it comes to making these trades, especially now that I've only got 2 open positions. So it's kind of like washing the slate clean.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
fun.
what do we got in store for next week, man? I'm
Well,
looking at
next
the
week,
curriculum here.
homework. Yeah.
We're gonna finish the manual on the fire and forget orders, even
Yeah.
though we're probably still gonna be using the copy and paste. We're gonna have the 10 essential trading goals, which that might have some interesting conversations, and then hopefully both of us can get on the practice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I've got a lot of homework to catch up on too. So I'm going to be. I just started going through the journaling stuff and how to track the trades, because you noticed I didn't do a very good job tracking my trades this week, so I could share. But and so
Are
next
you
week,
are
hopefully,
you
I'll have a.
purposely gesturing with your cursor?
Am I? Can you see my cursor?
As you're talking, I can see my cursor wandering over my face.
I didn't realize that you could see my cursor. Yes, I'm purposely
No,
doing it.
that is in the OBS side, not
Oh,
necessarily.
okay, thank God it's not going to show up on.
We'll find out if it's on the actual.
It's not. It won't show up. I promise. So no, yeah, I've got. So I've got to catch up on the week 2 stuff, about tracking things and recording
Yeah.
things and journaling things. But at the same time, I also have to get into the week 3 stuff of
Yeah.
those 10 essential trading goals that you mentioned. Fire and forget. We're going to finish that up, and then yeehaw, get into the paper trading video game that you've been promising.
Well, perhaps. Well, I don't know if you'll necessarily. Well, you will be doing it to some degree.
Yeah.
With the historical trades, but it won't necessarily be like, hey, I see this signal and now I can make my decision and see how it plays out. You're not going to be at that spot, but you'll at least be, oh, I got this type of order, and you can see those play out faster than you do on the paper trading side.
Well, that's the part I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I like I said earlier, I love instant gratification.
Or at least instant foreknowledge, future knowledge.
Yeah, that too.
All right, man. Folks, thank you for hanging out with us. I hope that you will like and subscribe and do all the things on YouTube where you can see like how we're going to do
this
it.
with other people who want to know about
Yeah.
trading. Because
Yeah.
hey, if you're like me, this is going to be a fun little trip. Come on, let's have fun.
Yeah, and if you'd like to follow along, throw a comment in about if you're learning to trade or if you want to learn to trade, let us know where you're at, and we can kind of take this journey together.